Hello all, this is Damini, co-founder of We Make Scholars. I welcome you to yet another episode of my series Discover Study Abroad. So today I have Aniket Saha here with me. Aniket is a fellow YouTuber who also went to Canada for his undergrad abroad. So as most of the students, go abroad for their post-graduation, it was kind of, interesting for me to talk to someone who went at UG level and ask all my questions, which I generally get, as in, is it worth going for UG abroad and spending that much money, and what are the challenges you would face, and whether you should or shouldn't go abroad for UG. So I'm sure students and parents who are watching this video and those who are planning to go for undergrad would find this video very eye-opening and would learn a lot of ground realities on that. So let's talk to Aniket. So hi Aniket, thanks a lot for coming to my channel for this quick chat and taking time on your weekend. So first of all, thanks. So before we start this session, can you introduce yourself for my viewers?
First of all, really glad to get a chance to meet the co-founder and speak to you directly of We Make Scholars, and hats off to your journey you mentioned on Josh Talks. It was really amazing. And so let me just quickly introduce myself to your audience. So hey guys, this is Aniket, a guy from a very humble background from India who had this dream to come abroad and settle abroad. And finally, I'm here in Canada who is studying business administration, and I'm having marketing as major. All right. And that's it, guys. And I'm planning to do masters here in Canada as well. I'll share in the later part of this video, as Damini asked me clarifying questions about it. And I'm also having a YouTube channel with some subscribers base where I share my life in general in Canada and also give preparation for IELTS. That's it.
Sure. Great. So Aniket, as you're the first YouTuber I'm collaborating with who is doing his undergrad abroad. So because generally, people go abroad for their masters. So as people have plenty of questions when they're planning for their bachelor's abroad, and I think the trend is picking up in India. But at the same time, we all know that UG is way more costlier than doing a PG abroad. So do you think it's worth spending that much money? Is it worth going abroad for your undergraduation? Because I think people are mostly like, they are like, hey, let's do bachelor's in India, then go for PG. But, is it worth? Sorry for cutting.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth it. But according to me, there are two type of people, international students who come to Canada, who enter Canada. There are two type of varying mindset, right? I'll address two type of mindset and then clear this question. So the first category is the students who are really good with their academics, who want to pursue their career in academics, right? They want to do bachelor's, then they want to pursue master's, then PhD, and go further with their academic career, right? And the final dream is to get a very good job with a very good package and a great MNC, right? And abroad. So if you're in that category, you're really good with your academics, then I would suggest not to come to Canada with your bachelor's. Not to come to Canada with your bachelor's. Because if you're coming to Canada with your bachelor's, it's very expensive. It's almost around 50 lakhs for 4 years. That is 12 lakhs per year plus 6 lakhs for GIC. That is your living expenses. So that hits really hard to your family's finances, and it gets really difficult after you do your bachelor's here. It gets really difficult for you to pursue again an education field, that is your master's or PGDM or anything further, right? Because you already have used your finances in your bachelor's. So that is why it's not recommended. And I'm clearing a myth here. Students generally think that my abroad chala jaunga and I'll do bachelor's and get a huge exposure and finally I'll be successful in life. That's a myth. It doesn't happen like that. Abroad just gives you two things. Number one, as it's less population here and there in India, you get less competition and there is very little bad politics here. So you actually get a huge return for the efforts you put in rather than in India. All right. So that's the thing, but it's up to you how successful you become. So this is the myth that I want to clear. And second of all, guys, I'll tell you that if you're doing your bachelor's here in India, you'll be having your finances intact, and then you can come here for your masters. And if you do your masters here, there are some points that you'll be getting which bachelor student doesn't get, and that points will help you in your PR, in your citizenship, and also if you're doing from your masters here, you'll be getting a very good package and a very good job in a great MNC. If that's your goal, if you're a student who is having a good academic career, who wants to have like a good academic career, then bachelor's in India, masters or PGDM here in Canada. But if you're in the second category, in which I even like, that is, if you're quite okay with your academic field, if you're quite okay with your grades and stuffs, but you want to do something big in life, if you want to do something out of the box, you're not interested in going in the traditional field, okay, So I would suggest that come here in Canada, do your bachelor's, because इसमें दो major benefit है. You're spending 4 years in Canada, okay? And according to the government, if you're spending almost 5 years, you're getting your PR. All right, you're being a
Okay.
permanent resident, and after 2 years of your PR, you'll be able to get a citizenship. So my plan, I'll share my story, and I think the audience will relate to it. I have planned to pursue bachelor's here because I wanted to enter Canada as quickly as possible, because I'm already having a clarity in my head that what I want to do in the future. Studying is not really my goal, or getting a job, settling down is not really my goal. I wanted to be an entrepreneur just like you. I wanted to have my own startup in artificial intelligence,
Okay.
but that too not in
Okay.
Canada, that too in US. Because Canada particularly is a
Okay.
very good country to get a huge package and settle in life peacefully, to get a good job. But US is for the startup cultures, like the hustlers, right? So I wanted to enter Canada, get settled, get a PR, get a citizenship, and get my freedom to get to US, enter to US, and then have my own startup. So studying or the college or the degree doesn't really matter to me. I wanted to enter Canada and get legally settled so I can move to US and pursue my main career. That is in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So if you're having this kind of setup, you're already having a blueprint in your head that you want to do this thing after entering Canada, then do your bachelor's here and then shift to US, or maybe start your own startup here as well. Government helps a lot.
So, Aniket, that was like a lot of information, and I think you have answered that question whether it's worth it or not from both the perspective. And even if, let's say, the person is in the second aspect, I think it is very much worth it. Let's say, instead of going to the US and doing the undergrad, which is way more costlier, I think Canada makes a much more commercial sense. Yeah, sure. So now let's assume all of our viewers are gonna finally go abroad for their undergrad. So now at that stage, at that age, when they've completed their 12th class, and they start researching or applying to universities abroad. I think students are very naive, right, at that point in time, and I think when they approach an admission consultancy, they totally rely on them, each and everything what the consultancy is telling them. This is good, this is bad. I think they are blinded by that. So I want to ask you that what are some of the aspects which parents or students should research on their own, even if they are consulting a admission consultancy, whether it is about the course or the university or even country. So what do you think they should do on their own?
Yeah, that's true that students don't really have that exposure or that like knowledge. What shall they do while researching about abroad, or which country they should choose, which course they should be opting for. So I would suggest that parents and students combined should research the entire thing. First, it should be a very clear thought that which country I want to choose in. It's not like abroad chala jaunga, then you can go to Africa as well, right? Alaska as well. Chale jao. That's not a
Sure.
point, right? So you have to choose your country first. If you're in the first category, good with your academics, then Canada, UK, New Zealand, Switzerland, these are your countries. But if you're in the second category, Canada, Australia, US, these are your countries. So you have to be very country specific, which country I want to go based on your long-term goals. First, ask yourself the question, ki, after 5 years, who I want to become, like how I want to be known to the world. Okay. If that is clear, then choose your country based on that. That's the first point. Second of all, once your country is chosen, for an example, you're coming to Canada. Now you have to again question the same thing. What I want to achieve in the future, in the next 5 years and next 10 years. Based on that goal, you have to choose the perfectly suited course for yourself. Which course aligns to that long-term goal, and then choose it. For an example, if I want to become an entrepreneur, then business administration or anything regarding business ethics, global business, project management, the business ethics, these are the courses that will align to that long-term goal. Though courses generally really do not matter, you have to have your own skills and self-help knowledge. But I do think that the course should be aligned with your long-term goals, and that's how you'll select your course. And then comes the university or the college. Here, first of all, you can choose university or college based on your finances. I would say do not stress much about it, because university and college won't, like, they'll give you a head start, but they won't take long ahead you in your life, right? They'll give you initial head start. That's the page. That's the paper you get from a university or college. But do not stress. Focus on the course. ऐसा course लेके कभी मत आना जो like this course will get me a PR easily. This course will give me a job which will have a huge salary package. Do not do like that. Get the course which aligns your long-term goal and you're really interested in that course. That's how you'll choose the course, choose your university, and choose your country. ठीक है. and then you'll go to your consultants, and consultant को बस यही बोलना है कि see, this is my research, I want to get into this college, this country, this course. Your job is to just get me enrolled, and this is my budget. That's it. Do not take consultancy from them. You do your own research, give them the sheet that this is what I want. You just get me enrolled in this budget. That's it. Nothing else. And they'll do their job.
Great.
So these are the basic things you
I
should
think
be
that
clear
makes a
about.
lot of sense. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Aniket, I think that was a lot of information, and I think you shared the clear insights on what students should do or parents should do on their own, and what they should depend on the consultancy for. So did you also actually go through this similar process? Did you choose your country and university on your own?
Initially, I targeted New Zealand. Then I targeted UK as well. But then I heard about some policies that from UK it's really difficult to get to US, because US was my last goal always. So then I shifted to Canada because Canada is giving the PR very easily, which will allow me to shift to US with all my freedom, right? I won't be getting into legal boundaries or something. I'll get the PR and I'll move to US. So I was very country specific. Then I chose my course. It was simple for me. I wanted to pursue something in business. So business administration was my course. Business administration or business management, anything out of these two. BMS or BBA.
Okay.
All right. So I got BBA and I took an admission, and my budget was around 50 lakhs only, and I targeted Seneca College. I was just about to get into it, but the seats got booked because it's the most popular college here in Toronto, here in Ontario, you can say. Then, according to my budget, my father always wanted to get me into university. He's like really a person who values academics and stuff. So he even forces me to complete my masters as well. So he wanted to get me into a university, and Algoma University, which is ranked among the top 100 here in Canada, has a very budget-friendly course. All right, so it's taking 48 lakhs for 4 years of my bachelor's degree. So I got into that very easily with my 12th grades. It was 92%
Great.
almost. I got into that.
Okay, awesome. That sounds so good. Okay, so now, Aniket, my next question to you is, as we discussed initially also that a lot more people, go to Canada or any other country at the post-graduation level, but you went at a UG, at an undergraduate level. So is it different? I mean, I'm sure, during your tenure at the university, you must have interacted with people at PG level. So is it different in terms of experience, being a UG student or being a PG student? And is it good or is it bad in terms of experience?
Again, here it's all about your perspective, what you want out of life. So the major setback that comes for UG student is that they're not really experienced with basic things as in how to cook, how to interact with people, how to communicate with people clearly and get your things done. They're not able to communicate, and that gives a problem here. Also, like managing a household, dealing with your roommates and stuff. But if you're coming after your bachelor's from India, then you have probably already lived outside your house. You have done your bachelor's out of your town. You have lived in a PG or hostel. You have interacted with people, and you know how to live away from your family. You won't be homesick here. So these are the basic things that hits hard for an UG student here. So that's the basic experience that they go through in the initial days. But for a master student who is coming here to do masters, that's not a big deal. They'll just deal with it like this because they've already gone through it, and they just need to repeat the experience they had in India, right? So that's the basic difference between a UG and a PG student. And again, a PG student or a master student will get a bit more exposure if they want to pursue their academic field. They'll get more points for their PR, they'll get more exposure, they'll get a good job with a very good package. But for a bachelor student, they'll get, but not of that level. They'll go slowly, their journey will be a linear graph. But for a master's and PG student, the graph goes like this, J-curve. So yeah, that's the basic difference. Yeah.
Sure. So Aniket, I think all your answers are like probably gonna tell people, telling people that you should focus or come at PG level unless you have an offbeat goal right?
You should be having a perfect blueprint. It should be like very clear in your head. Only then come for bachelor's. If it's not clear, then come for masters or PGDM. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think that is like one tip which I have heard from other people as well, that be clear if you're coming at undergrad level, and I think you were clear. Yeah. Great. So Aniket, I think that was a lot of information, and I think people who are or parents who are watching this, who are thinking of sending their kids abroad at bachelor's level, I think they would have some very good insights into it, which you are sharing, with your first-hand experience. So before we wrap this session, I have my last question to you. what are some of the tips which you want to give to parents or students who are planning to come to Canada, especially at undergraduate level?
So first of all, I would say that analyze your goals. It's not like I'll go abroad and only then I'll be successful. It's nothing like that. You can even be successful. Even you are successful there in India, right? You have your own startup VMix college.
Yeah.
So people are actually successful, and India is going to be a major economy. So it's nothing like that. Abroad has nothing shiny. To be very honest, I always say people, it has nothing shiny. It's about your goals and your mindset. I want to pursue things in abroad, so I came here. I didn't want to pursue that in India, right? So it should be very clear in your head कि कहाँ पे जाना है, क्या करना है, ठीक है? Note things down, and it's a very big leap of faith, right? Coming abroad is a major decision. It takes up a lot of finances. So always, like, I would suggest that take a week off from everything and just think. It's a think week. Ask every type of question here. What I want to become, why I want to go to abroad. Am I confident enough to do things alone? Am I confident enough to deal with the emotions that I'm going to go through when I go abroad? I would suggest that take a think week and ask all of the questions that you have in your mind and note it down. Once your decisions are clear, then take this leap of faith whether you want to come to abroad or not. Think 100 times, but once you take the decision, never ever look back, because you've already taken it. And there's a quote I really follow and even suggest people from, it's from Ratan Tata. He has always say that there is nothing like right decision or wrong decision. You always take the decision and make it right with your hard work and willpower. So think a lot before coming to abroad. And once you have taken the decision, once you've taken the leap of faith, there's nothing looking back. Come here and like meet all your ends and be successful. That's it.
Awesome. So I think, Aniket, that was so nice. I mean, the last answer you have given, that was like very inspiring also, I think, for everyone who is watching this. So I just want to add there that, don't go abroad, like just reiterating what you said, that don't go abroad just because, you want to settle there or PR, or it's gonna give you like, a handsome salary. If you're clear on what you want to do, if you're clear, your goals are clear, I think you can be successful in India as well. And I think when I came back after my masters, I think that was the thought process that my goal was like, I want to settle in India and be an entrepreneur. And I think I followed that path, and you have a path for yourself, Aniket, so I think you're following that. So very awesome and very interesting to hear that from you. So I think we can end this session here. Even though I wanted to interview a UG student with a perspective of what are the good things, and I think you have given us very eye-opening information, and I think you have given my viewers a clarity on why they should choose UG or why they should probably come at PG level. So thank you so much for that. It was very nice interacting with you in this session.
Thank you so much. It was nice speaking to you.
Yeah. I hope this video was useful. It was like a lot of information which Aniket shared with us. If you have any questions or concerns, please comment below and me or Aniket will answer that. And we have also done, one video for Aniket's channel wherein he asked me questions about scholarships and education loans for students who are planning to go to Canada. Do check out that video as well. Aniket's channel link is in the video description. And do subscribe to both the channels. In addition, we are doing an Instagram live also together. The details on that will be shared on VMix Scholars Instagram page. So do follow us on Instagram and stay tuned for the details. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to never miss any updates from us.